Hey, for Saturday, December 21st, 2019, this is the Prawn McCon Show, and I'm your host, Michael James Ott. Welcome to the show. As always, welcome to the show. So, encouraging all of us to be better citizens, be focused on the who, the what, the where, and the when. Try to steer away from all of this tremendous propaganda that's out there, and basically fundamentally coming from our two political parties. So today's show, actually, I'm calling it Independence Day. Independence Day. And why am I calling it that? Well, because this is the day that I'm launching my bid, my desire to have all of us meet on July 4th. So the real Independence Day, the one we celebrate for the original Declaration of Independence back in 1776. But we're going to get together and we're going to say we're ready to be better citizens. We're ready to put aside this propaganda stuff that we're being abused by. Quite honestly, we are being oppressed by wealthy, powerful people who are using the media to control us. And unfortunately, not in a good way, but in a bad way, by causing us to polarize us, to try to divide us so that they can have control of us and the direction of the country, and serving their own agendas. And so the Independence Day event. Okay, so July 4th, how close I can get this to the cameras, turn this. So July 4th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Central Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. What are we going to do? Well, all of us that are willing, and I hope it's basically everybody, so as many of the 340 million of us that are in this country as possible, step out to the street wherever you are. So if you happen to be in your neighborhood, step out in the street and spend an hour talking to your neighbors. What are you going to be talking about? You're going to be talking about pledging to them that you're going to be a better citizen going forward, that you are going to serve them and you expect them to serve you. And this whole idea of getting rid of the political parties and replacing the way that we find candidates with what I've called the Citizen Statesman Initiative. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to start talking about it. And on July 4th, 2020, we're going to show en masse, I hope. Now, who am I to declare this? Nobody. I'm a guy who lives in Hudson, Wisconsin. I've lived in the Carolinas, and I've lived on the East Coast, and I've been all around the world. But who cares? I'm just a guy. Okay, I'm a nobody. But at the same time, I'm an everyman. And if you really, really want this country to take the next step, or this world to take the next step in governance, to really accelerate and improve the way that we govern ourselves, this whole idea of democracy, we're ready to take the next step. Okay, we're ready to take the next step. That can be our legacy. So I've talked about in past shows, we can have a legacy, folks. The 340 million of us here now, we can work together to establish a legacy that will be every bit as powerful of an impact on this planet and society as the people back in the 1770s, 1790s who originally established this country, and that's the structure of government, which is great. Then you had the generations during world wars who fought these unbelievable conflicts against some of the propaganda and rhetoric of that time. These evil leaders that tried to overtake the entire world. Okay, and that was an unbelievable effort by those people. And now, today, in 2020, the next stage of democracy, the citizen statesman. We can do this. And if you sit back and you think about it, and as you're talking to your neighbors, you just as you speak to them, you'll see there's a distribution of your neighbors, right? And you're going to find out that some are better speakers than others, and some are a little bit smarter than others, and some are more prone to serve in the community than others, and on and on and on. But as you talk to them, you're going to find that there's some of them that you're going to say, you know what, that man or woman, I would feel great if they were the representative from this area for me for the next 2 years in government. I think they're a pretty decent sort of person, and I think I could trust them to do a job for 2 years. Okay, the citizen statesman, go do the job for 2 years, and then come back home and be my neighbor again. Same thing for the President of the United States. Same thing for the people in the Senate. The structure, as I've said many times before, I'll say many times again, the structure of this country, the basic concept of balance of power and having this check and balance amongst the arms of government. This is a very sound thing. It makes tremendous sense logically. I'm an engineer by training. It makes tremendous sense logically, and we've demonstrated repeatedly how strong this level of government is. Did you know that in typical elections, even in presidential election years, which is the most well-attended election years, only about 55 to 58% ish, in this 54, 55 of the voters that could vote or voting age actually vote. The level of participation, roughly half of us. All right? That's terrible. We have to do better. If you want your government to be better, you have to do better. You have to, as I've been saying in these shows repeatedly, you have to take the time to ferret out the truth and then formulate your own opinion about what that means, and then work with the rest of us side by side to try to figure out how to make laws that make sense for all of us. And it takes time and it takes effort. And one of the strong pieces of evidence that our government is the construction of it is quite good is the fact that we've been so lackadaisical and apathetic in our being citizens, and yet the government still functions. I mean, most of us generally, we don't like everything about the government and the rules and taxes and all this other stuff, but for the most part, most of us are kind of okay. And yes, there's a big disparity in wealth distribution and stuff, which we need to work on, which again, the citizen statesman thing would greatly help to alleviate. But in the big picture, the structure of government, the three corners, if you will, the three tips of the triangle, that's solid. We just have to be way better about putting people in there, and the citizen statesman, that is the way to do it. So you're going to see this in future shows. You're going to see me. I'm going to be advocating July 4th, 2020. July 4th, 2020. 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central, 11 a.m. Mountain, and 10 a.m. Pacific time. Stop what you're doing for 1 hour. Head to the streets in peace, in harmony, with the expectation that you're going to talk to your neighbors, friends, community members, and tell them, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to take the next step in this experiment we call democracy. I'm ready to go. It's time. Come with me. Shake my hand. Let's go. Let's go. It's time. For December 21st, that's Saturday, December 21st, 2019. This has been the Pro and Con Show. I'm your host, Michael James Ott. Until the next show, bye for now.